want to show you guys a clip here from More Perfect Union. I seem to use their work almost every week. If you're not following them, go follow them. They're terrific. This is about Kroger and how Kroger has conducted themselves lately. They're always talking about labor issues. So we will take a watch and come back and discuss.
Have one value, and that's greed.
I just think it's corporate greed, plain and simple.
Speaking of taking care of your associates, Rodney, you have found yourself in the middle of this major controversy over these hazard or hero pay mandates. Why did you decide to close stores instead of paying your workers $4 to $5 more per hour?
It was stores we just decided to go ahead and close them because we thought that was the best long-term decision.
It reminded me of the scene from Star Wars where, in fact, they decide to destroy the planet Alderaan.
We will deal with your rebel friends soon enough.
This was, if you don't play the game their way, they're going to punish the community.
I think Kroger decided to close because they're greedy. Grocery stores are making more money now than they've ever made. They have, in fact, record profits. That's realized in the increases in their stock prices. It's recognized as in CEO pay. Where they refuse to recognize it is with the people who make their operation go, and that's the workers.
QFC announcing the closure of 2 Seattle stores. The company saying it can't keep open under the city's newly passed hazard pay legislation.
They can pay. They have had record profit.
People in Long Beach are about to lose 2 neighborhood grocery stores. The stores claim they cannot afford to give workers a $4 an hour raise during the pandemic, a raise just ordered by the city.
During this pandemic, Kroger has made obscene amounts of profit. In 2020, they made $2.6 billion in profit, which is more than 50% more than the previous year.
The head of Kroger, Rodney McMullan, gave himself a pay raise. He now makes $21 million a year. The cost in LA City that Kroger says is $20 million to pay this hazard pay to all the affected workers. McMullan can write a personal check for that amount and then still scrape by with $1 million for the remaining part of the year.
Well, grocery store workers, pharmacy workers, they're one of a very small group of workers in the United States that haven't taken a day off since the beginning of the pandemic. All those workers have showed up to allow those businesses to operate.
Hazard pay is a reflection of what these workers who did not sign up to be public health workers have undergone over the last year.
We worked through this pandemic this whole year. People has been getting sick with COVID, and they still don't show appreciation to us.
We're people just trying to survive. Customers put money in our pockets. We put triple that in your pockets.
I believe there is such a thing in business as having a social conscience. It's really quite unforgivable that Kroger doesn't have that same value in mind when looking to take care of their employees.
Keep these stores open. You were afforded the privilege of operating when other enterprises were closed. Those windfall profits that you've made, they need to be reinvested in our communities.
So pretty much spot on there, except for that council member who said, I believe that businesses can have a conscience or something like that. Listen, I wish that were the case. I don't know what to say. I wish a lot of things. That's so clearly not the case. The exception proves the rule on that one, okay? That is so clearly not the case. But outside of that, great job from More Perfect Union there. And I think we covered maybe a few weeks ago at this point, it came out that these major grocery outlets, including Kroger, I think that very guy, the CEO of Kroger, who were bragging to their investors about how they were basically getting away with murder over the supply chain issues that are causing some price hikes, right? So what they basically said is, we have more than passed that cost on to the customer. So they were taking advantage of the media's misinformation campaign, calling this inflation, and utilizing what customers now saw as an expectation of increased prices. They used that to make more, to further price gouge. And they were bragging about this openly to investors while they're closing stores, refusing to pay the workers, right, who've allowed them to stay open through a fucking pandemic, who've allowed them, unlike other businesses, to continue to make these massive profits through a pandemic. So this is the same thing that we saw from the airlines. The first day they could lay off mass portions of their workforce, they did it. And then they were months later bitching and moaning about how they couldn't find enough workers. They want it both ways. Whenever the economy is not precisely to their liking, whenever the economy is not such that they have maximum leverage over desperate people, they throw a fucking temper tantrum. And it's utterly pathetic. Shame on Kroger. You're closing stores in the middle of a pandemic because you're not willing to spend $20 million while you're making record profits that you're only making because of the workers that you turn and screw over. Fuck you. Shame on you. Continuation of the same kind of behavior that we have seen from these big businesses, and very much including Kroger. This one also kind of hits home a little bit, you guys. The store that was a couple blocks from where I grew up is a QFC. I was raised in the Seattle area, about 20 minutes east of Seattle. And when we wanted something convenient, we'd go to QFC, right? So that just kind of hits home. This is how the people that I spent my upbringing seeing at the store are treated by this shithead of a CEO. So great reporting there again from More Perfect Union. Follow them. If you don't, we have one more clip from them.